So how can we spend all this information that we're debating on and turn it into something tangible that we can bet on? And for me, I think we're kind of hand in hand in this, is expecting a big year from receiver Justin Jefferson, because we talked about this. Kirk Cousins in the regular season can put up some big numbers. And plus, nobody's been more consistent in the receiver game than Justin Jefferson. He has put up 3 back-to-back-to-back seasons of at least 1,400 plus receiving yards. One of the best receivers in the game, led the NFL in receptions and also targets, because that's a big thing when you are trying to put some money on who's going to win AP Offensive Player of the Year and also their yardage prop. How many targets are they going to get? I think it's going to be a big year for Justin Jefferson, because you lost Adam Thielen. Dalvin Cook is gone, who was also a part of the receiving game as well. So I think Kirk Cousins is in a contract year. He's going to lean heavily on the best player on the field, and that is Justin Jefferson. He had so many games last year, I need to look it up, but where he was targeted at least 11 times. Yeah, targeted 11 or more times in 11 separate games last season. So that is how heavily Kirk Cousins was relying on Justin Jefferson. So I think you take a look at his yardage prop over. I think it's like 1,200. I think that's pretty low for Justin Jefferson.
Yeah.
And also, can he repeat as Offensive Player of the Year? It's hard to repeat, but I think he has a good shot.
I like Jefferson's receiving touchdown total set at 8.5. The over shoots to -120. His receiving yards total is 1,249.5. That seems way low to me. Juice to the over, -115. And here's the thing. I like to look at game script and how you think the season will play out, of course, when betting these totals. Who else is going to catch passes from Kirk Cousins? Because Dalvin Cook is gone. He would do so out of the backfield. Adam Thielen is gone. They did draft Jordan Addison out of USC. Before that, he was a stud at Pitt, but had a bit of a down year last year when playing out west. It's going to be Justin Jefferson. And also, Chelsea, they're going to be in a lot of passing and a lot of long yardage situations. They're handing over the reins at the running back position to Alexander Madison. What do we know about Alexander Madison? Very little. He rushed for 283 yards last year. He averaged 3.7 yards per carry. That is not great. So if you're relying on a running back who isn't going to pick up big chunks of yards, maybe he will. And also, you don't really have a lot of options, at least a lot of mature options at receiver. What are you going to do? You are going to lean on Justin Jefferson again and again and again and again. So I would bet the over on both of these props.
For World Series, we got to talk about the Braves. Doesn't it feel like the shoe-in answer for the World Series champions right now? But at plus 350, this is the question. Do you think these odds are too short?
I think it's right there is what I think. I think that obviously you wanted to get them a few weeks ago or early on before the season, but if you're going to get them, I feel like you got to get them now. Maybe you get lucky and you say, oh, I got the Braves at 4-1, but don't you feel like that these odds will get shorter and not longer, because the Braves aren't going anywhere. And even if they slump, I don't see that happening. Even if they do, I don't think that's going to affect the odds. They just have too much talent top to bottom. The rotation is stacked. There's a reason why they are the favorites. I think plus 350 is, I don't want to say the sweet spot, but it's in that spot where if it gets a little more expensive and there's less value, then maybe it's not there. But if you're going to strike, I feel like you got to strike now.
Oh, for sure. These odds are only going to get shorter. You're absolutely right, because the Braves are also one of those teams that adhere to my rule of picking teams who are going to make the correct moves at the trade deadline. We know Alex Anthopoulos has a great track record of not only opening up the checkbook, and spending money, but also getting the right pieces. Like, he retooled the entire outfield before the Braves went to the World Series, and he made all of the right moves. Marcell Ozuna, Adam Duvall, all of those guys were huge pieces that were crucial to the success of the Atlanta Braves when they didn't even have Ronald Acuna Jr. So now this year, they have Ronald Acuna Jr., who is healthy, an MVP candidate, and also the starting pitching is there.
So, Lucy, this is blowing my mind right now that you're doing geolocation searches and you're also connecting the dots when it comes to hummus and snacks.
Yeah.
My question to you is, how much time would you say, and there's no wrong answer here, that you spend investigating these connections in your long history of being an investigator when it comes to celebrity hookups?
Probably 10,000 hours, which would make me an expert. That would probably for professional reasons, of course. I mean, it's,
of course.
For a cause. It's all for the work for the people, because the people should know these things. And I feel like it's a service to everyone to know who Tom Brady is dating. And we need concrete proof that he was hanging out with Kim Kardashian or snuggling with Emily Ratajkowski, which are both reports. And as soon as I saw the Emily Ratajkowski headline that he was talking to her, I was like, well, which is it? We need to know concrete things about who he was talking to, what he was doing with whom, and who he was doing more with, or who he is talking to outside of there. Because this is a great point, Chelsa, about when you walk into that white party with Tom Brady there, how do you even compete with that, or who would compete with that? Now, I would say if Jay-Z was also there, if he was not married to Beyonce, he is a candidate for music will supersede everything. And people have made references to this before, is when he cheated on Beyonce and she like said stuff about it. Like, well, Jay-Z, I would say maybe she wouldn't look at you if you were not doing rap and music and were not as talented, perhaps. So he is a candidate for that, I think. And I think Jeffrey Bezos maybe could compete with Tom Brady. But if Tom Brady and Jeffrey Bezos were in a room together, of course I would go for Tom Brady. I mean, I would rather be on Tom Brady's smaller boat than Jeffrey Bezos's yacht. So that's a tough situation for other men at that party to be in. But I think Tom Brady probably did make the rounds and probably was hanging out with both of them. But I think Kim Kardashian has laid the foundation for a longer term connection with Tom Brady with the Bahamas home situation.
So who else is in the tier of Tom Brady? Because I'm thinking it's like John Mayer. Because you talk about Jay-Z being like the music is like a factor there, but it's not like romantic music. I feel like the guys that are like the crooners that can really get a girl are guys like John Mayer. And then also Pete Davidson, which has already dated Kim Kardashian. So he's out of the equation. But for me, my investigating, which is very short and it's like a quick Google search, Emily Ratajkowski doesn't normally date guys that are, you know, classically good looking or the all-American types like Tom Brady. So I feel like the Emily Ratajkowski rumor is false.
I think so too. I think that she maybe for some kind of headline would hang out with him, but she has her own thing going. I believe she also dated Pete Davidson at one point, possibly. So Pete Davidson also making the rounds with that, but that is more her type. I think with Eric Andre, she just dated. So I think Tom Brady would be a different way to go with it. So I agree there. I don't think that is completely true. And I think that she would probably go for somebody else, but the Pete Davidson, Kim Kardashian thing was so public, and every time she is in a relationship, it is a lot of for PR. I think Kris Jenner has something behind it where it's a PR stunt in a way, and which is like, that's mean, but that's what she does, I think, because she can, sure. And I think if she was dating Tom Brady, wouldn't Kris Jenner want this to be very public? Wouldn't she want this to be in every headline, to be a big thing? Maybe, but maybe Tom Brady is just in such a stratosphere of his own, because when you said that, who can compete with him? I can't think of anybody, because he looks so good.
We were just talking about this discipline. Have you had to learn the hard way at all about discipline when it comes to betting or not betting on something on any given day?
Yes, and that is something I'm going to be practicing more during college football season this year, because I'm so excited for college football to start, like everyone else in the world is. But I'm going to try and limit myself to maybe 2, 3, 4, max 5 plays on a Saturday.
Max 7.
I know, right? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But, you know, cap myself and make myself play only my 3 best plays, something like that, and see how that goes. Because, you know, I had so many Saturdays last year during college, or even college basketball, where I'd have multiple plays and I'd win, 6 and lose 4, kind of like break even for the day. And it was just day after day after day of that, where maybe if I pull my sample size back a little bit and be a little bit more conservative in my plays, just take the ones I'm most confident in, I might win some more. But half the fun of betting in the recreational standpoint is having action on games. So there's a fine line between like wanting to be invested in the game because you have a bet on it and the entertainment aspect, and like actually trying to win your bets and win some money and that way. So I have learned that over the past year in various situations, and I'm going to work to practice that more so going into the football season.
Well,
let's learn how that goes.
Yes, let us know. We're definitely going to check in with you and find out how that works out for you.